Good evening. If everyone could have their seats, we're going to get started for this evening. Okay. The Vineland Board of Education would like to cause notice of our May 4th meeting 2022 at 5 p.m. Roll call, please.
Ms. Acosta. Ms. Fabry.
Here.
Mr. Fiocchi.
Here.
Mr. Holmes.
Here.
Mr. Rivera. Mr. Sabrana.
Present.
Mr. Silva.
Here.
Mrs. Cottospati.
Present.
Ms. Spinelli.
Here. In compliance with the New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law, commonly referred to as the Sunshine Law, the Vineland Board of Education has caused notice and posting of this meeting to be sent to the following: announcing time, place, therefore, agenda, etc. The Daily Journal, S&J Today, the Press of Atlantic City, Nuestra Comunidad, Visto Bueno, and the Clerk for the City of Vineland and the Administrative Office Public Bulletin Board. At this time, we will have our Durand students come up for the flag salute. Just hang tight down there for 1 second, and we have some certificates for you. Thank you very much. Great job. Thank you, and great job. Is there a resolution for our executive session this evening? None. At this time, I will hand it over to Mr. Yano for our special presentations.
Good evening. Before we begin our special presentations, I would like to ask all of you in our audience tonight, all of our board members, to join me in a moment of silence for our board member, Dennis Rivera. His brother, Orlando Nick Rivera, recently passed away, and also the tragic loss of a Wallace student, a 6th grade student, who we lost over the weekend. So please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. At this time, I would like Dr. Sneeden to join me at the podium to Give us one moment to transition. Ms. Spinelli, would you please join us on stage? So our first special presentation this evening, we have the honor of recognizing the 21-22 District Governors Educators of the Year and the District Governors Educational Service Professionals of the Year. It's an exciting opportunity for us as we gather here this evening. We have a lot of new faces here tonight and families, young ones as well, joining us. So joining me will be Dr. Sneeden, who will be announcing the names. Ms. Spinelli and I will be providing the swag, right? Yes. All the apples and all the fun stuff. And then we would like all of our recipients to go up on stage for a photo shoot at the end of the announcement, okay? So, Dr. Sneeden, please begin.
Good evening and congratulations to all of our teachers and support professionals of the year, educational professionals of the year. An exciting time to see many, many happy faces here at a board meeting. We'll first start with our selections from Vineland High School, a 30-year science teacher, Mrs. Lisa Fagan. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's an honor.
Where are you going? They're making you go up there? Do you want her to go up there? Oh, okay. Also from Vineland High School, our media specialist, 22 years, Miss Natalie Reynolds. Congrats. From AMSA at Johnstone, a 19-year veteran teacher, Mrs. Janice Jefferson. Also from AMSA at Johnstone, a 15-year guidance counselor, Mrs. Lauren Cifuentes. From Wallace Middle School, 14 years, bilingual ESL science teacher, Miss Madeline Horner. ESL science. Congratulations. Also from Wallace Middle School, paraprofessional for 17 years, Mrs. Monica Salazar. Congratulations. From Veterans Memorial Middle School, 4 years is a middle school art teacher, Mrs. Cassandra Kozub. Congratulations. Now I know who you're married to. Also from Veterans Memorial, 9 years as our social worker, Mrs. Christina Luciano. Congratulations. From Sergeant Dominic Pilla Middle School, 16 years as a teacher, Mrs. Nicole Oshenik. Congratulations. Also from Dominic Pilla Middle School, 17 years in the district, middle school guidance counselor, Mrs. Valerie DeTetta. Our daughter's Naya. She's doing good. From Barcy School, 6 years in the district, a 5th grade elementary teacher, Mrs. Shannon Beltran. I hope I got it right.
This is so wonderful.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. Also from Barcy, 7 years in the district, our speech language specialist, Mrs. Montana Jacobs. She can see her. Congrats. From Petway Elementary School, 21 years of service, Mrs. Christy Mercado. Also from Petway Elementary School, a paraprofessional for 15 years, Mr. Stephen Martini. Congratulations. From Winslow Elementary School, 27 years as a music teacher, Mrs. Leslie Hammer. Also from Winslow Elementary School, 18 years as a paraprofessional, Mrs. Lauren Delago. Congratulations. From Durand Elementary School, 9 years of service, Mrs. Jamie Sims. Congratulations. Also from Durand Elementary School, 10-year social worker, Mrs. Jennifer Pepe. From DePolito Elementary School, with 11 years of service, Mrs. Kaylin Concanon. Congratulations. Also from DePolito, a paraprofessional of 15 years, Mrs. Cheryl Ravely. Congratulations. Thank you. From many schools, 17 years as a 5th grade elementary school teacher, Miss Karen Kreck. Congratulations. Also for many, 17 years as a paraprofessional, Mrs. Sonia Jones. From Sabatier School, 17 years, grades 1 and 2, elementary school teacher, Miss Stephanie Armstrong. Oh, I went out of order. Congratulations. Also from Sabatier Elementary School, 20 years as the school nurse, Miss Omira Capriati. Congratulations. From Rossi School, an 11-year art teacher, Mrs. Dana Ensminger. She looks like an art teacher, too. Show off the necklace. Congratulations. From Rossi School, paraprofessional for 21 years, Mrs. Kimberly Vinnick. Congratulations. And from Delago School, 13-year pre-K teacher, Miss Kelly Servey. Congratulations. Also from Delago, 13 years as an occupational therapist, Miss Carissa Mazzoni. Thank you, and congratulations to all of our educational professionals.
On your way down. You made it through. You didn't fall. Everyone change their names. Now, I was thinking of doing something to embarrass you a little more, but I decided not to. I was at varsity school when we had a meeting. Every teacher introduced themselves as Miss Beltran. So everywhere I go now, I'll never forget. I know, I see you everywhere now. I'll never forget the name. Thank you.
Josie?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Megan Spilly. So nice to meet you. You too. Just so you know, public speaking is terrifying.
Oh, no. We'll back you up. I'm just going to turn it over to you, and then you have the certificates. How do you want us to help? You want us to hand out the certificates and hand them on?
They're not called here. Okay.
Okay. Let's give them about a minute just to kind of settle down. Do you have the names in order on your sheet?
I don't have them in that order because I didn't know how we were.
So thank you again to all of our educators who were recognized today. Thank you to all of our families and friends who came out in support. And another thank you to our administrators who are here representing their school buildings and supporting their teachers and their paraprofessionals and their support staff as they receive this recognition. Now we're going to move into the second part of our presentation. At this time, I would like to introduce our nursing supervisor, Mrs. Josephine DeMario. She will acknowledge the district nurses for their commitment to students and our staff and our community. So at this time, please join me in welcoming Ms. DeMario.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of our Vineland School Board, our Superintendent, Mr. Yano, Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Sneathen, all our school principals, our parents, and our entire student population of Vineland, I would like to take a minute to recognize our school nurses who have gone above and beyond to support the district during the COVID-19 pandemic over the last 2 years. The role of the school nurse drastically changed when COVID-19 hit in 2019. In addition to taking care of students' injuries and illnesses, the nurses have stepped up to handle tasks associated with contact tracing and tackling a pandemic that has never been seen in our lifetime. These actions were professional, keeping the health and well-being of the student and staff population as their top priority. For that reason, I would sincerely like to recognize all of our school nurses for their outstanding contribution to our Vineland School District, and my sincere, heartfelt thank you. It's been a pleasure to work with all of you. Okay, I'm going to call them up. Okay, first, New Jersey State Certified School Nurse, Diane Bereason. New Jersey State School Certified Nurse, Sally Cottrell. New Jersey State Certified School Nurse, Carmina Lopresti. No, that's Carmina. New Jersey State Certified School Nurse, Lillian Bailone. New Jersey State Certified School Nurse, Sandra Arsenal. New Jersey State School Nurse, Karen Gallo. New Jersey State Certified School Nurse, Florence Spivak. New Jersey State Certified School Nurse, Omira Capriati. New Jersey State School Nurse, Certified School Nurse, Denise Ferrari. New Jersey State Certified School Nurse, Kelly Lang. New Jersey State Certified School Nurse, Rhonda Curcurio. New Jersey State Certified School Nurse, Monica Thomas. New Jersey State Certified School Nurse, Frances Mitch Radcliffe. New Jersey State Certified School Nurse, Gina Giuliani. And New Jersey State Certified School Nurse, Margaret Broom. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. DeMario, for helping us recognize the efforts of our nurses. They have been a critical team player throughout this school year. And we also want to take a moment to recognize the work that you've done in your first year in Vineland Public Schools. So thank you so much. Let's hear it for all of our professionals and all the work that they've done. Thank you. At this time, I would like to ask Mrs. Kristen Speakman, VASA President, who will recognize the 21-22 VASA Administrators of the Year. Where is she? Oh,
I think so. I think I need the glasses. Good evening, Mr. Yano and members of the Board of Education. Thank you for the opportunity to recognize one of our outstanding Vineland administrators. Like Mr. Yano said, I'm currently serving as the president of the Vineland Administrators and Supervisors Association, and we are growing, which we are very happy about. So we have about 40 members right now. Each year, VASA nominates members to receive the title of Administrator of the Year. And this nomination comes directly from their peers. This year, VASA proudly recognizes Dorothy Burke as the 21-22 VASA Administrator of the Year. I thought she would be dressed as Rory. So Dorothy, I do have a few words to say. So Dorothy did receive several nominations, all of which highlighted her dedication to the students of Vineland throughout her 20-plus years in the district. Dorothy has dedicated her entire career to selflessly helping her students and staff. A direct quote from a nomination says, "She has touched the hearts of so many by creating activities that cultivate a positive environment." Example, creation of VMS mascot, who's all over social media, Sergeant Rory. Despite the challenges this year has brought, Dorothy maintains an environment that supports students and staff. A quote from Dorothy herself embodies why she is our Administrator of the Year. "Never lose sight that no matter how challenging our jobs can be, we must focus on why we do what we do, to guide students in making better decisions and for them to be lifelong learners." Please join me again in recognizing Veterans Memorial Middle School Assistant Principal Dorothy Burke. I know. And Mr. Camardo, if I have to be in the picture, you're coming too. Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Speakman. Congratulations, Ms. Burke, for being recognized as the Administrator of the Year. Congratulations again. At this time, I also would like to welcome the newest member to the team, Ms. Rosalyn Feliciano, who will be taking the lead at Wallace Middle School beginning in July. So we want to welcome her to our community, and we have our team here that will be helping her out. Deb Quinn, the current principal of Wallace School, Kristen Speakman, also the VASA president. So come on down. We'd like to hear a few words from you. I know you brought your family, it looks like, and we're so happy to have you with us today. So congratulations.
We're best friends already, Mr. Yano. So.
Don't listen to them.
Good evening, distinguished members of the board, Mr. Jano, Assistant Superintendent, and the Vineland family. I am extremely excited to be part of Vineland. I have been meeting, different teachers, visiting the school, so I thank you very much for having faith in me and believing in my skills and my experience as your next leader of Wallace. And I promise you that I will do whatever it takes to ensure that our students are well taken care of, they're safe, and that they are successful in everything that they do. So that is my promise to everyone, and I'm here for everyone, extremely excited, and I even got my ID today, so feel really official. Thank you.
Congratulations. We're so excited to have you. We stood behind you because we've got your back from our board president, our board of education, VASA leadership, and the outgoing principal who will be there to support you along your travels. And we'll be talking a lot in the future, and Dr. Sneeden as well and the rest of the team. So congratulations and welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, moving along. The HIB report. Do we have a HIB report this evening?
Yes, we do, as noted on our agenda. Thank you.
Any questions regarding the HIB report? Do I have a motion? It says right here. Roll call, please. It says right here.
Ms. Fabry?
Yes.
Mr. Fiocchi?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
Mr. Sabrana?
Yes.
Mr. Silva?
Yes.
Mrs. Cottasbody?
Yes.
Ms. Spinelli?
Yes. Moving on, approval of the minutes. April 6, 2022 combined meeting, April 6, 2022 executive session, April 25th, 2022 public hearing. Any questions or comments? Do I have a motion? So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Fabry?
Yes.
Mr. Fiocchi?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
Mr. Sabrana?
Yes, but I have to abstain on the April 6th executive session.
Mr. Silva?
I have to abstain on all. I was absent.
Mrs. Cottasbody?
Yes.
Ms. Spinelli?
Yes. Do we have any committee reports this evening? Ms. Cottasbody?
I'm just reporting on the superintendent evaluation process. The board will now, the non-conflicted board members will now be able to go in and start the evaluation process of the superintendent. You need to go onto the New Jersey School Board site and you will see it. If anybody has any questions, you can reach out to myself or Ms. Spinelli. You will have until May 16th to complete that.
Thank you. Any other committee reports this evening?
Yes, Policy and Personnel Committee met on April 27th. Present were Ms. Spinelli, myself, Mr. Fiocchi, Mr. Sabrana, Mr. Yano, Dr. Sneeden, and Dr. Rossi. We discussed personnel matters such as executive level positions, building administrator assignments, teacher openings for September, staff vacancies, and job search process. We also discussed the Policy 7250 school and facility names.
Thank you. Report by Board Solicitor.
Yes, thank you. I've been asked by Mr. Yano to describe and explain the process for the naming of a school building. I will do so prior to the board discussing 10B. So I'll do that just before you have your discussions.
Thank you. Public comment on agenda items, please limit yourself to 3 minutes.
If we could have Suzanne Youngblood. come to the front. The topic will be thank you to students.
Good evening, school board members and Superintendent Yano. I am Suzanne Youngblood, and I am the president of the Board of Trustees for Compass Academy Charter School here in Vineland. This is Joel Johnston. He is the lead founder of the school. I am here on behalf of Compass Academy to thank your students from the high school who volunteered their time on May 26th to help us establish our outdoor classroom. Their time and dedication to our program and to our new outdoor classroom was fabulous. They worked for over 3.5 hours, cleaning, weeding, and helping us create picnic tables and all kinds of things. They were wonderful, they were respectful, they were kind, and they deserve to be publicly acknowledged for their hard work at our school, and we thank you from Compass Academy.
If you can share the names with us by sending us an email, we also would like to recognize those students, so thank you.
Yes, I didn't want to say their names without permission, so I will be happy to do that.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Dr. Sneeden, make sure that we can get those names, all right? Thank you.
Next, we have Connor DeRocco. The topic will be the VPA Academy at VHS.
Board of Education, members and guests, thank you for having me, and thank you for taking the time to listen today. I am Connor DeRocco, a sophomore at Vineland High School and an active member in the theater arts program at our school. I transferred to Vineland Public School System in 7th grade at Memorial and auditioned to be in the VPA Academy. I am in the choir division, though I'm also included into theater and band. When my mom chose me to take me out of my previous school, she looked at schools that would not only provide me with a high-class education and encourage my interests, she looked for a school that had a theater program and music to be proud of. Knowing that I wanted to pursue art in college and in life, she chose Vineland, and that's why I'm here today. As I stated a second ago, the VPA Academy means a lot to me, but it also means a lot to other people. The Academy has taught me many things, and one of the biggest ones is that these experiences are once-in-a-lifetime moments that we are living together as a family. In my eyes, I believe that we deserve more respect and recognition, whether it be to visual or performing arts. Just take a moment to recognize all the work the Academy puts in to please and entertain, and even just try and recognize the work that the theater program puts forward and support us a little more in the future. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Next, we have Dorothy Burke. Topic's going to be Administrator of the Year.
Thank you to the members of the Vineland Board of Education for the opportunity. Thank you to my fellow administrators for nominating me and then for the vote of confidence to represent VASA as the 2022 Administrator of the Year. I would be remiss if I did not thank my parents up above who were the role models for me and my 4 brothers and sisters. Mom and Dad raised 5 kids in the industrial northern city of Paterson, New Jersey. Dad worked 2 jobs, Mom worked part-time, and both coached basketball and softball to the youths of Paterson before moving down to South Jersey. Through their dedication, their work ethics, and their love of family, I was molded into the person I am today. My dad and I used to go on hikes, and during those hikes, we would talk about the importance of education. When I became a high school English teacher, those talks about the importance of education became deeper in meaning. I taught high school for 16 years, and 9 years out of those 16 years, I was nominated by my students to Who's Who among America's best teachers. Dad passed away April 30th, 1995. One of the last hiking conversations I remember Dad having with me, he said, "You need to go into administration." I adamantly told him, "No way, never. Are you nuts? I enjoy being a teacher." 1 month after Dad passed away, I was selected as Sacred Hearts High School's 1995 Teacher of the Year for the Camden Diocese. I lived by my parents' belief that every student has the right to an education. And as a teacher, it is important to remember that not every student learns the same way. To be successful, you must adapt to different styles of teaching. If you want your students to learn, you must learn about your students. In 1999, I started teaching at Vineland High School South, and following my parents' view of the importance of education, I obtained my master's degree in school leadership. The words of my father, "You need to go into administration," came back to me. I finally realized why he told me that. You see, as a teacher, we can make a positive impact on an average of 125 to 150 students a year. But as a building administrator, you can make a positive impact on an average of 600 to 3,200 students a year. And of course, as a central administrator, you can make a positive impact on 10,000 students a year. On July 4th, 2004, I was selected as the assistant principal for Vineland High School South, overseeing discipline, INDRS, and activities and events. In 2008, I became associate principal, overseeing the function and management of the South building until budget cuts forced a reconfiguration of the high school administrative team where the executive principal would oversee both buildings. And then I resumed my position as assistant principal. During my years at the high school, I continued believing that every student has the right to an education, and that as an administrator, I am an educator first. The roots of the word education come from the Latin forms of educare, which means to train or mold, and from educere, which means to lead out. In 2015, I was told I was being transferred to Veterans Memorial School. My entire career was on the high school level. I quickly found out that the middle school years are absolutely the most challenging age in a student's life. Hence, if I want my middle school students to learn, I must learn about my middle school students. Every student has the right to an education, but every student is not the same. Administrators are still teachers. Teachers are still students trying to learn the most successful methods to reach our children. And our children are our future, who can be the positive change that is much needed in this world. And tonight, after 33 years, I leave everyone with this thought. I believe there are no bad children. Children make bad decisions, and those bad decisions can be corrected. Parents, administrators, teachers need to be good role models for our children. Lastly, take education seriously, but always find the humor in life. Thank you.
Next, we have Luz Vasquez. The topic is special sex education standards.
Good evening, Vineland Board of Education. I'm here as a parent and also as a representative of the South Jersey Faith Coalition. Today, I had the privilege of listening to the New Jersey State Board of Education meeting addressing the request to review the learning standards that are causing so much controversy. Now, I'm listening to this while at my other job because that's how important it is for me to know where this is going as a state so that I can properly address my district, Vineland. I want to thank Mr. Fry for a great conversation that we had over the phone in which he assured me that you're all doing everything you can to ensure that anything that is inappropriate for a child's age will not be moving forward. That being said, my biggest concern on the state level is hearing the president of the Board of Education at the state level say, and others concur, that morality and religion have no place in any decisions that are made concerning academia and curriculum. Now, you can remove religion from that, as we all have different belief systems, but when you start taking morality out of a standard by which you make a decision and how standards are decided, it in itself becomes a religion, a godless religion. This is why parents are losing their minds over why people think, including some on this board, that it is appropriate to introduce very young children to things that appall the most non-religious people. These are just basic human morality that children's innocence should be protected. So I am thankful that I do live in a very good district. I give you all credit for that. I give credit for the board members that are elected, but I will tell you, as a parent and as a coalition member, I am watching intently as to where this is going, because I have children, I'm an aunt, and hopefully one day I am going to be a grandmother. And the future of our children in the public school system is of grave concern. So I want to thank you, Vineland, for standing for students and for parents, and for not being hostile towards us when we present our concerns. That is very appreciated, and I will go on the record stating that. But I am watchful, because I don't believe that is the case on the state level. So thank you for what you're doing, and you will be seeing me often. Thank you.
Okay. At this time, I will hand the meeting over to Mr. Yano for superintendent recommendations.
Okay, requesting discussion of personnel items 1.1, which would be the approval of the following: retirements, resignations, terminations, students, substitutes, extracurricular activities, extracurricular summer, and volunteers.
Any questions? None? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Fabry?
Yes.
Mr. Fiocchi?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
Mr. Sabrana?
Yes.
Mr. Silva?
Yes.
Mrs. Scottisbody?
Yes.
Ms. Spinelli?
Yes.
Requesting discussion of procedures and operations items 2.1 through 2.3. 2.1 is the approval of district travel and trips. 2.2 is the approval of the June 22nd project graduation contracts on file with the board secretary. And then 2.3, approval of the second reading for the policies noted on our agenda.
Any questions or comments? Motion, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Fabry?
Yes.
Mr. Fiocchi?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
Mr. Sabrana?
Yes.
Mr. Silva?
Yes.
Mrs. Scottisbody?
Yes.
Ms. Spinelli?
Yes.
Under procedures and operations, I'm also requesting discussion of 2.4, which is the approval of the 2022-2023 district calendar.
Do I have a motion to remove or to untable the 2022-2023 district calendar? I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Fabry?
Yes.
Mr. Fiocchi?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
Mr. Sabrana?
Yes.
Mr. Silva?
Yes.
Mrs. Scottisbody?
Yes.
Ms. Spinelli?
Yes.
Requesting discussion of buildings and grounds items 3.1.
Now that you've removed from the table the motion, now you have to have a vote on the motion that is now
approve the calendar. Okay. So we're going to approve the 2022, 2023.
Requesting approval of item 2.4, which was put back on our agenda, 2022-2023 district calendar.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Fabry?
Yes.
Mr. Fiocchi?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
Mr. Sabrana?
Yes.
Mr. Silva?
Yes.
Mrs. Cottasbody?
Yes.
Ms. Spinelli?
Yes.
Moving on to Buildings and Grounds, item 3.1, requesting approval regarding the submission of the 2022 minor amendment to the long-range facilities plan to the State Department of Education.
Do I have any questions or comments? Motion?
So moved.
Second? Roll call, please.
Ms. Fabry?
Yes.
Mr. Fiocchi? Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
Mr. Sabrana?
Yes.
Mr. Silva?
Yes.
Mrs. Cottasbody?
Yes.
Ms. Spinelli?
Yes.
Requesting discussion of finance items 4.1 through 4.6. 4.1, approval of the 2022-2023 school district budget items for submission to the New Jersey Department of Education as noted on our agenda. 4.2, discussion of the $27,788,147 local tax levy. 4.3, discussion of the maximum travel amount in accordance with NJAC 6A23A 7.3 for the 2022-2023 school district budget. 4.4, approval of the budgetary transfers for general, school-based, and ECBA for March 2022. 4.5, approval of the April 2022 monthly transfer report, which was submitted and approved by the Executive County Superintendent of Schools. And 4.6, approval of the Board Secretary and Treasurer reports for March 2022.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Fabry?
Yes.
Mr. Fiocchi?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
Mr. Sabrana?
Yes.
Mr. Silva?
Yes.
Mrs. Cottasbody?
Yes.
Ms. Spinelli?
Yes.
Requesting discussion of finance items 4.7 through 4.10. 4.7, approval to submit applications for the following: New Jersey Youth Corps grant, the K-12 New Jersey Child Assault Prevention grant application, and the Early Childhood New Jersey Child Assault Prevention CAP grant application. 4.8 is requesting approval of grant acceptance for the 2021-2022 transportation grant from the Community Foundation of New Jersey for Vineland High School. And B, New Jersey School Insurance Group, NJSIG, 2022 safety grant in the amount of $51,774. 4.9, approval of the grant submission acceptance for the 2022 Mathical Book Prize Collection Development Award grant. 4.10, approval of the 2022-2023 itinerant shared services agreement between Salem County Special Services and Vineland Board of Education from July 1st through June 30th of 2023.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Fabry?
Yes.
Mr. Fiocchi?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
Mr. Sabrana?
Yes.
Mr. Silva?
Yes.
Mrs. Cottasbody? Ms. Spinelli?
Yes.
Discussion of finance items 4.11 through 4.16. 4.11, approval regarding a professional services renewal contract to Ford Scott and Associates LLC for auditor services. 4.12, approval regarding professional service renewal contract to Capehart and Scratchart, PA for alternate counsel. 4.13, approval regarding professional services renewal contract to Manders, Marigi, Portadin, Farrell Architects for architect of record. 4.14, approval awarding the following contract for board solicitor to Gruccio, Pepper, DeSanto, and Ruth. 4.15, approval awarding a contract for labor negotiator, contractor Blaney, Donahue, and Weinberg. 4.16, approval awarding a technology services contract, July 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2023, with the option to renew 2 one-year terms or 1 two-year term for a maximum of a 3-year term. Technology Services, PCS.
Any questions or comments? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Fabry?
Yes.
Mr. Fiocchi?
Yes, but I have to abstain on 4.14, 4.15, 4.16. That's it.
Thank you. Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
Mr. Sabrana?
Yes, and I just want to say a word about continuity of coverage in certain areas, in particular our board solicitor, that's a value that goes beyond the dollars. Well done, Bob.
Thank you. Mr. Silva?
Yes.
Mrs. Gottesbody?
Yes.
Ms. Spinelli?
Requesting discussion of finance items 4.17 to 4.20. 4.17, approval awarding the following contract for digital assessment and data analysis to Advanced Assessment Systems. 4.18, approval awarding the following contract for carpet and floor covering services to Ernest F. Rose, TA Rose Floor Covering. 4.19, approval awarding contracts for fuel services to Riggins Incorporated. 4.20, approval of year 3 renewal of the following contracts at the current contract price, July 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2023. Foundational Literacy and Professional Development to Wilson Language Training Corporation.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Fabry?
Yes.
Mr. Fiocchi? Mr. Holmes? Mr. Sabrana?
Yes.
Mr. Silva?
Yes.
Mrs. Gottesbody?
Yes.
Ms. Spinelli?
Yes.
Requesting discussion of finance items 4.21 to 4.23. 4.21, approval of 7 large bus advertisements for Century Bank from February 16th, 2022 through February 15th, 2023. 4.22, approval regarding the McKinney-Vento tuition contract between the VBOE, Receiving, and Buena Regional School District of Atlantic County, Descendant District. 4.23, approval regarding the following Cumberland County Regional Cooperative Transportation Initiatives, A, B, and C, as noted on our agenda.
Any questions or comments? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Fabry?
Yes.
Mr. Fiocchi?
Yes, but abstain on 4.21.
Mr. Holmes? Mr. Sabrana?
Yes.
Mr. Silva?
Yes.
Mrs. Gottesbody?
Yes.
Ms. Spinelli?
Yes. Regular agenda items, there are none this evening. Okay, proposed items for review or discussion or adoption by board members. Public request of naming of the VHS building to the board policy, the south, the Vineland High School South Building, policy 7250, school and facility names. Bob, at this time, can you explain the process?
Sure. The superintendent and board secretary received a request by the Vineland High School Historic Committee to name Vineland High School South after a specific individual. This triggers off policy 7250. And under that policy, a building may be named to honor and memorialize the contribution and service of a specific individual who has met the criteria of the policy. With respect to buildings, the person must have passed away more than 5 years prior to your vote. The process for naming a building can be initiated by the board and/or the superintendent and a member of the public. If it's a public request, there are certain requirements that must be met. Since this request to name Vineland High School South was initiated by the Historical Committee, we'll have to follow that particular section of the policy. So the first part of the policy, Ms. Leary has sent the request and the backup information to the board as required. And as required, Ms. Spinelli and Mr. Yano have placed this request on tonight's agenda. What needs to be done this evening is the board will discuss whether to invoke policy 7250 in response to the request. In other words, the board will vote on a motion to name the Vineland High School South building in accordance with policy 7250 and direct the board secretary to advertise for nominations. Please note that at this time, the vote will not be to name the building after the individual requested by the committee. It's to name the school after an individual to be determined later. So if the motion carries, then the board secretary solicits nominations and supporting data by newspaper advertisement, public television, notification, and website posting. So before the remaining process comes into play, Ms. Spinelli, at this time, you should entertain a motion to name the Vineland High School South building in accordance with policy 7250 and direct the board secretary to advertise for nominations. After you have a motion and a second, you should take discussion, and after the discussion, you should call for a vote.
Thank you, Mr. DeSanto.
Thank you.
At this time, do I have a motion on agenda item 10B?
The motion that I just specified. If you have no motion, then the matter is closed right here, and in effect, the request has been denied. So you don't even have a vote to take because you have no motion and a second to put it on the table.
Okay, thank you. Approval of bills for March 2022. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Seeing none, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Fabry?
Yes.
Mr. Fiocchi?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
Mr. Sabrana?
Yes.
Mr. Silva?
Yes.
Mrs. Cataspati?
Yes.
Ms. Spinelli?
Yes. Emergent items with prior approval. Seeing none. Old business. Any old business? New business? No new business. At this time, we will go into our board member remarks, starting with Mr. Sabrana.
Thank you. Congratulations to our flag saluters, all our wonderful teachers and professionals who are honored, especially Ms. Burke for VASA Administrator of the Year, a good friend and colleague to me when I was working, an extraordinary friend and colleague to my sister, who was a teacher for many years at Vineland High School. And I hope we have a safe ending of school year. It's always a great time where students are honored and participate in all kinds of social and reward activities. And I just hope there are no problems or accidents. Thank you.
Mr. Silva.
Yes. I'd like to congratulate all the honorees tonight, Durant School for the flag salute. Also would like to congratulate Isaiah Pacheco on being drafted to the Kansas City Chiefs. I will be rooting for you, even though I'm a diehard Raiders fan, I will be rooting for you. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Fiocchi.
Thank you. I just wanted to congratulate everyone, all of our award recipients tonight, and thank you for your dedication to Vineland Public Schools. I also wanted to send prayers to our fellow board member Dennis and his family during this difficult time. Thank you and have a good night.
Mr. Holmes.
Yes, I want to extend my heartfelt condolences to Mr. Rivera and the family of the 6th grade student from Wallace. Congratulations to our teachers, paraprofessionals, principals, staff, and everyone who was recognized this evening for your dedication to our school district. Especially want to recognize Ms. Dorothy Burke, who was one of my APs at the high school, for your hard work and dedication to our school district. That is all. Thank you.
Ms. Fabry.
I would also like to congratulate all of our teachers, educational support professionals, and nurses. Thank you for all your hard work and consistent dedication. I also want to send my heartfelt condolences to Mr. Rivera's family and for the Wallace student, the 6th grade Wallace students' family, friends, and everyone is praying for them. Thank you.
Ms. Cosbati.
I also would like to send my condolences to the family of the Wallace student who passed away, and also to the Wallace school family. I know they're going through a tough time also. And to Mr. Rivera and his family. I'd like to thank the Durant students for coming out and leading us in our flag salute tonight. Ms. Youngblood, Mr. Duraco, Ms. Guzman, thank you for coming out and speaking to us. We don't know things that are going on a lot of times unless you come and tell us or just give us opinion, and at least we know now we can honor those students that helped with the Compass Academy. I'd like to welcome, I think it's Ms. Feliciano, did I say that right? Who will be the new Wallace School principal. Congratulations to our educators and educational service professionals for 2022. We so appreciate you, and thank you for everything you do. Ms. Burke, thank you for the inspirational message that you gave to us. I was sitting here on edge because you were just so informative and inspirational. That's what, for your VASA Award of the Year. To our nurses, thank you. You've done so many things for the schools, and you continue to do them. I was honored to be at the Jamel Demby honoree ceremony with Ms. Spinelli, Mr. Yano, Mr. Holmes, several of you out there. It was such an honor to be out there with him and so many people. Isaiah Pacheco, congratulations. I will be watching you, and I will be watching Mr. Demby, so if there, we'll have to see what happens there, but congratulations. You guys are such role models for our school and continue to be, and you have such a great future ahead of you. And I appreciate that you come back and help our students because they do look up to you. Thank you all. God bless and have a good night.
Thank you. Mr. Yano.
Thank you. I just want to recognize that yesterday, May 3rd, was Teacher Appreciation Day. We thank all of our teachers for the work that they do. Next week is also National Teacher Appreciation Week. We know many of our schools are celebrating. I want to thank our Vineland educators who work tirelessly to guide our students both in and out of the classroom, prepare them for a very bright future. The work you do does not go unnoticed, and you are all greatly valued and appreciated. I also like to recognize a few students. Two of our AMSA students, Juliana Panco and Margarita Hernandez Garcia, earned first place in a team division for middle school students at the Delaware Valley Science Fair on April 6th. The VHS academic team competed in their first large in-person triathlon since the pandemic began, and the team competed against 20 other teams, gaining valuable experience in that competitive forum. The Lago Preschool wrapped up its 6-week Latino Family Literacy Project. Families were given assistance with applying for library cards, along with earning and receiving 4 new bilingual books to add to their home libraries. 5th grader Lucas Rivera from Winslow Elementary School won the Future Chef competition on April 13th, which was super exciting. His winning recipe was tropical salad. The competition was exceptional, but after sampling all 7 dishes, Lucas's came out on top. Bubble Day celebrations were held throughout the district in support of autism awareness. Many schools were hosting different activities for students to participate, along with the traditional blowing of bubbles, and an outstanding and exceptional day. Wonderful activities for our students at Winslow and at Barcy School, amongst our other buildings as well. Vineland High School recently hosted an exceptional event for our 8th grade students over 3 days, where we had the opportunity to introduce them to our high school and to highlight the many different wonderful things that Vineland High School has to offer. We continue to believe and we want to share with all of our students, Vineland High School and Vineland Public Schools are the best program, the best opportunity for all of our students. We encourage all children to continue through the program, and when they get to the high school, they will see the exceptional academic and extracurricular activities that we have planned for them in the next school year. Thank you to Principal DeMarchi and her team for putting together an outstanding event, and for all the students who participated and shared what they love about Vineland High School. Wallace Middle School hosted the first annual role model dinner on April 27th. We had a few of our board members there and district admin team. Students had the opportunity to describe and thank their role models before presenting them with a small token of appreciation. It was a wonderful event. A tearjerker had us crying. It was exceptional. The city also celebrated, as noted by some of our board members, Jamil Demby Day, outstanding opportunity to see the community come out in support of one of their own athletes, and then to culminate this past weekend with Isaiah Pacheco, making that draft to the Kansas City Chiefs. So Vineland is doing amazing things for our student athletes. And again, we want to focus on the term student athlete because academics is where it's at, and athletics also unlocks the door to college. And both of those young men had full scholarships to the university of their choice. So congratulations to Jamil and to Isaiah. That's it for me.
Thank you. Congratulations to all of our honorees tonight. Great job. It's always nice to see so many people at the board meetings. Ms. Burke, I really enjoyed hearing your story about your life and how you got into teaching. It's always nice to learn people's paths. Last week was Bring Your Child to Work Day. I heard great things. I actually had my son up here in administration. He was very bored, but it was a positive experience, and I heard great things throughout the schools that everyone was really welcoming of everyone's children, so I am in full support of the Bring Your Children to Work Day. This week is Super Food Service Day on Friday, so you'll be getting an email from me about that. It's Teacher Appreciation, and Nurses Day is May 11th. Our Vineland graduates, we celebrated 2 of our Vineland graduates this weekend. So that's, great positive energy coming right out of the high school. And I also would like to send my condolences to the Rivera family and also to the Wallace School who had that tragic loss of their child and that student. And that's all I have for this evening. And at this time, this meeting is adjourned. Do I have a motion?
So moved.